Welcome to the Going On Daily Live Morning Show. I'm your host, Ron Rigo, and my co-host today is Martin. I finally get to be with you, Martin.
Yes. Good morning.
I remember the first conversation we had before you jumped in. It was a great conversation, so I don't doubt that we're going to be absolutely like clockwork. Okay. Of
I
course, Ustream had something else to say about
yes,
that.
they did. Yes, it did. Yeah, as it were. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
we got a great show. And
I'm excited.
I love the topics that you're bringing today.
Great.
You got the feast of Santa Lucia,
Santa Lucia. See,
which
yeah,
I'm gonna I'm gonna learn something today because I have no idea what this is about.
it's gonna blow your mind. Well, I don't know. I don't
It's,
know if it's gonna blow.
I'm sure you've got the Geminid meteor shower thing.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, I thought of that because they're coming together pretty much at the same time.
See,
The
so
Gem-
this is going to be an interesting topic
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
and your Thanksgiving surprise, which I think I know a little bit about this, but this is life, right? I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
this is going to be a good story. So it'll
Okay.
make some people feel better. I know it makes me feel better that I'm not the only one.
Well, when something goes awry in your Thanksgiving, right? It
Yeah,
happens. It
it
happens.
does.
It's really how you respond to it that's going to either
Absolutely.
save the day or you know. So
Right. You
literally,
can't crash and
literally,
burn. You got to just make the best of it, right?
that's it. Yeah.
All right. So I got some interesting stuff because I needed to give you the full Ron perspective of things. So
Okay.
I got today in history.
Okay.
I've got some fun facts,
Hmm.
and I've got this is a classic, instant classic, Ron's top five. This is
Okay.
going to be a great one.
An
So
instant
Kenny,
classic.
I know you're going to be watching at home, Kenny. So you don't want to miss this one. That's going to be great. So we're gonna jump right in. We're gonna jump right in. So people, you are watching us on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting. You are also watching us on Facebook at RI Broadcasting. And I cannot forget about our good friends who Chakra joined yesterday. So Twitch at RI underscore broadcasting.
Oh,
So
I
if
thought you
you're on,
wanted me to Twitch. I'm sorry.
yeah, Uh, so if you're on Twitch, subscribe and toss us some bits because that helps us tremendously. It helps pay and keep the lights on. And I know I've had to do a show without lights once. The power went out, and my laptop was on battery power. So that was a crazy thing. So it was a little dark, couldn't be seen. So, but that's another story. So, opening up the show is Martin. Your story, the Geminid meteor shower. I got a little meteor coming crashing down. You
Okay.
know. So, tell us about what's going on with this
Well,
because this is this weekend, right?
yeah. So this is an annual thing, and I should say, meteors, showers of all kinds, and are happening all the time. But I'll point out the Geminids and other enthusiasts would too, because it's one of the more spectacular ones that you can see during the year. We have a very good chance of seeing lots and lots of meteors. There is a caveat. I'll get to that. But rivals the Perseid meteor shower in August, which is also spectacular. And we give you days where they're going to peak, and that would be the 13th and the 14th, Friday and Saturday. But they're actually running on now. It's not, the meteor
Right.
shower doesn't run like the way we want things conveniently to fit. They're actually
Oh, at
happening.
4 o'clock.
Right, exactly. It's the debris is out there even during the daytime. We're passing through this, and it's really from like November something to through the end of December. But this is the peak. This is when you're really going to get a chance to see stuff. And it's called Geminid because they're named after. They seem to be appearing out of the one of the stars in the Gemini constellation. So they call them the Geminids. And
Named after my sign, of course.
oh, perfect. Birthday boy coming up. So Uh, the other interesting thing about this meteor shower, and this is really getting into the weeds, is most meteor showers are the results of debris left by comets and going through comet trash, basically, and we get to see them
Yeah.
burn up in our sky. In the Geminids, it's actually from an asteroid. The asteroid has a name; it's a number name. I don't remember what it is. I could look it up, and it's almost irrelevant. But because of that, they burn differently, and they're much whiter and they're much brighter. So it really makes for it can be quite spectacular. Now you can see up to 120 or so an hour if the conditions are right.
Wow.
Probably won't, and you probably won't this year. But on a, let's say, bad night, you can maybe see 40 or 50 an hour, which is really something. If you have not seen, we'll have an asteroid. That's your shooting star wishing on a star.
Yeah.
They're really quite spectacular. Typically, they happen quickly, but sometimes they linger. Where they're just ablaze, and you're thinking, "Oh my God, something bad's gonna happen." But
Yeah, that's
other than
what I'm
that,
thinking. I
yeah,
mean, should I just like start praying or something?
no. Well, maybe for many other things, but not for that. It's just the way you're just looking at bigger pieces burn up into the atmosphere differently. And I saw one such spectacle on Thanksgiving. Was it 1999? We were in on an island near Annapolis where my wife and I were spending Thanksgiving with our baby daughter, who was not quite 1 year old. And it was nighttime. We had met up with friends there for whatever reason. And as we're walking back to the cars, Barb and her friends are engaged in conversation, and I'm sort of holding the baby. And I
Mhm.
look up and I see this blaze of a giant ball with a green tail for a count of about three. And I did in that moment said, okay, brace for impact, which never came. That thing was burned up, never hit anything in the earth, but it was
Now,
spectacular. Absolutely spectacular.
what I wonder is with the ozone deteriorating because
Mhm.
of our wonderful humans. Now,
Fluorocarbons, yeah.
with the ozone deteriorating, is it possible that it goes into one of those little holes in the ozone layer and it doesn't burn up? I
No,
just need to know because if there's a
um,
hole over Rhode Island,
yeah. Well, I have some good news. Believe it or not, much of the ozone layer has been repleted by our eliminating so many chlorofluorocarbons over the years. We have other environmental problems.
yeah, we
Uh,
do.
yeah, I would say from my reading, no, there is a concern. There's always a concern that there is some sort of space debris, small asteroid or whatnot with our name on it, right? And
Probably has my name on it.
yeah, it's just going for you. It's
It's
just going
called
for you,
Geminid.
Ron. It's just well, as long as no one's near you, I'll be staying out of Rhode Island next
Right,
weekend.
so
But
head for the hills, go get
yeah,
out of Rhode Island,
no,
that's what I suggest.
no, gosh, no. Well, that is a chance, but with these items, they're so small. They look
Yeah,
spectacular because of the friction burning up. But things do land sometimes, and they don't cause catastrophic events, and then they become
has to
meteorites,
be a
and
good size.
yeah, and you find them, and you're like, "Oh, this is cool," or you don't notice them at all, or whatever. And every now and then there were events that are slightly bigger. You hear, "Oh, Siberia was lit up in 19 whatever." It was a bigger meteorite, but it wasn't so big that it caused catastrophic damage globally. But
Right,
we are being bombarded by space junk all the time. And it's burning up in the atmosphere, even with depleted ozone. There's enough other things in the atmosphere, so we're safe. There's so many other things to worry about if you're looking to say
I get that.
yeah, right. But you're probably good with looking at it. But if you do look, they are spectacular. Here's what you're going to have to watch out for this weekend. Unfortunately, full moon, I think on Saturday or Sunday, but we're approaching the full moon, so there's going to be a lot of competition from the moonlight. This is why you're probably not going to see 120 per hour, but you might if you sort of with you don't need any kind of special viewing device. You can see it with the naked eye.
Right,
If you're mitigated light interference or pollution, other means, maybe you put your hand up to block out the moon. You're gonna see stuff. The the optimum time is 2 a.m. And I believe if you're on the East Coast or you're in the United States because of daylight saving time, you can. I think that's going to happen at 1 a.m. So you don't have to be out too late. But
See,
people see
now
these at
this
10
fits
o'clock.
perfectly,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Martin. This fits perfectly because the Boston Bruins are on the West Coast,
Right.
so I'll feel so
You're
bad
gonna
once they get crushed by like Vancouver
right. Right. You're going to need
that
to refresh
right
your
after
skill.
the game it'll end right when things are starting,
Good.
and
Perfect.
it'll make me feel a little better.
Yeah. That's good. Well, lucky you. Lucky.
See,
So now I'll tell you,
bright side of things.
if the Bruins win, then maybe you need to be a little more nervous about what might happen with that. That might be
Well,
a sign.
yeah, yeah. I see. That's the negative side. It
No.
could be like a little celebration, you
Right.
know, from the
Oh,
gods that somehow
yes.
they won this game.
We're giving you the Bruins win, but we're taking back everything else you hold dear to your life. No, but we'll go out
Yeah,
and treat
yeah,
yourself, dress warmly, right? Hope that it's not cloudy and see what you see. Look up to the Gemini constellation, and which is I don't have an engineer's brain, so it's hard for me to describe. But best I can think of it is if you're looking north, if you can find the Big Dipper, just sort of look in an opposite direction, sort of above and behind you a little bit. Uh, but
yeah,
if that's not helpful enough, you could just go get your cell phone and Google the
yeah.
Geminids. 1,000 things are going to come
Google
up.
the stars, right?
Yeah, yeah. Google the star, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger, no, no, no,
Right.
not those stars, other stars. And but with a
It'll
little
show
luck,
Bruce Willis from Armageddon.
right, right. Look, fingers crossed, a little luck, you guys are in for a treat. You can do this on the 13th, the 14th. Probably get something out of the 15th too. So any one of
Yeah,
these nights, you hope for clear
that
skies.
was pretty neat.
Luck-
I've always, like when I was in high school, our high school had a planetarium.
Oh, that
And
is
I used
cool.
to
Wow.
love going there,
Yeah,
and, and
yeah,
it's like I've done camping out in the middle of nowhere and in the star it's just absolutely breathtaking when you're looking
yes,
at the sky,
yes.
at night, and it's nice, and I have yet to see, like, a shooting star or anything, so I'm kinda excited about this.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, let me know what you see. Seeing one is exciting, but during a meteor
I'll
shower,
try to let you know if I see something.
right? If you survive. But
If I
when
survive, right?
seeing one is pretty cool, but then you're like, did I just see that? Because it happened so quickly. But when you start
Yeah.
saying, oh wait, there's another, and there's another. Oh, there's another. Now it's a different experience too. So
Yeah.
this you know
Somewhere on the planet, people are gonna think they're being attacked by aliens. You know that,
yes,
right?
yes, yeah. I'm aware of that. I may know
Yeah.
some of those people who are.
Gonna be mass panic everywhere.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my god, they're here.
Orson Welles. Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
No, that's
that's
not what's
great.
happening. And people have. I think I don't know if I'm remembering correctly, but it may have been during the Geminid meteor shower where that group in the 90s had that mass suicide. It may have been this very meteor shower.
Oh.
Not 100% sure, but my
Oh, yeah,
aging
there's
memory is
always those
failing me.
people too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They thought they were joining the spaceship, but that's not happening.
Yeah,
We're flying through
yeah.
space garbage that is
Then the leader goes,
wonderful.
"Oops."
Yeah,
Oops.
that's it. Oops.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah. Oh man.
Unbelievable.
So, well, this
See,
is
this is
it.
why we do all these stories, right?
Yeah.
Because
Oh yeah.
we can make light of some of the tragic incidents that have
Some
happened.
sometimes it's not out of insensitivity, but that's your best medicine
Yeah,
against the pain. It
absolutely.
inoculates you against the real suffering. So, with respect, yes,
Absolutely.
we mock it. We mock you. No,
Exactly.
yeah.
All right. So, with that being said, because that is part of history, right? With
Yeah.
the meteor showers, we
Oh, it's
might as well go on
December
this
11th.
day in history,
Mm.
December 11th. Now, there was some pretty cool things that happened on December 11th. First of all, the Mayflower Pilgrims arrived, they say, in Plymouth Bay,
Mm.
landing
Yeah.
right where that rock is in Plymouth. I
Yes.
don't know if that rock was there. I don't know if
It's
they added the rock later,
there
but
is a part of that rock is actually in Vassar College. It hangs over the doors of one of the buildings there. This is
Yeah, so they're
Plymouth.
saying that
Plymouth
The
Rock.
Rock was there. I'm
Yeah,
I'm skeptical that The Rock was
yeah,
there because it doesn't look right.
yeah. Well,
But
something
you never
was
know.
there. They landed some, right? I mean,
Yeah,
there's a
they
lot of
landed there,
embellishment.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's a big mark in history.
Sure,
You
sure.
know, half of them died when they got here, but that's besides the point because they
Okay.
came in the middle, like at the beginning of winter. What the hell were they thinking?
They were it wasn't the best plan. They're very lucky. They, were
Yeah, they
not
are.
for the stash they found in Cape Cod. They might not have made it to Plymouth.
Yeah,
Was
they
it?
probably wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
Like they were fortunate. They
Hmm.
were fortunate. But you got to give them credit for taking that journey because back then they thought, you'd fall off, you know, the planet.
Um, Back before technology, people had a lot more grit, and
Yeah,
they were of
exactly.
hardier stock than I think we are. We people who grew up with the
Hmm.
comforts of heat and air conditioning. All the other these people, I mean, the simplest things, they were rolling the dice, and one thing was for sure: there was going to be much discomfort and much suffering. But they
Yeah,
said, look, they looked at the potential of having things more aligned to the way they wanted to live their lifestyle. They were intrepid, and
yeah,
they took a chance, and
yeah.
things.
I mean, the negative in all of the people coming over, constantly after that,
Mhm.
um, it really didn't do well for the natives of
No,
the
no.
country, and that's the tragedy part of it. I wish I wish people had better morals,
Mm,
because I mean, the Native Americans were probably welcoming, right?
mhm.
I mean, they're not like bloodthirsty.
No, no, I mean, my recollection is they helped aid them, set up their colony and
Yeah,
what to plant, how to plant, what the realities on the ground were here, and they
yeah.
were of great assistance.
And the greed of leaders takes over.
It is the downfall of our species.
Yeah,
It's never when is it ever enough?
no,
There's
and that's the
there are
sad
those
part.
who have nothing. There are those who
Yeah,
have way, way too much. And I'm, in some ways, without being a billionaire or anything like that, we look around, common people have too many choices. I'll make light of it. You go turn on your cable TV. There's too many, there's too many choices out there. It's saying you spend time. What
yeah,
do I stream? Do I
yeah,
stream this and that? That's a mild example of this. But when you have more than you need, it becomes a burden in and of itself. But are we ever satisfied? And if there's a lesson to be learned, right, for the betterment of everyone, I suppose you're hitting on when can we be content? When is enough for us to be content and happy and fulfilled?
yeah,
And so that there's enough for everyone, right? It's a fair
yeah. This
question.
is true.
Fair question.
Becky's in the house. Good morning, Becky.
Morning, Becky.
Um, Still waiting for Kenny to show up.
Can't
Still waiting.
any-
Kenny's gonna miss some
Hey,
stuff. Let me tell you,
hey,
he's gonna miss some stuff.
hey,
All right.
well,
Also,
can I
go
ask
ahead.
quickly? Have you ever been to the Plymouth Plantation?
Yes.
I love that place. I haven't been in probably over a
Oh, it's
decade.
pretty
I love
neat.
that place.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
that
neat.
was great.
Everybody dresses up their
Yeah.
roles and stuff. It's pretty impressive.
You will hear English the way it's not spoken anymore.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, exactly.
marvelous.
Like
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah, yeah. Of the time. Yeah.
All right. So 1913, Mona
Mm.
Lisa was recovered 2 years
Ah,
after it was stolen from the Louvre.
that was something. So it was recovered December 11th. That was the day.
Yeah.
Nice work.
I'm still skeptical that it was the actual Mona Lisa that they recovered. They might have just said they recovered it.
Okay. And this is a good
And
copy.
I know Becky's now feasting on what I just said.
Did you do that deliberately?
She's
Did you
like,
do that
really? Oh my
deliberately?
God, I wonder if that's true.
Oh, God.
So
Well,
she's now searching. She is
okay.
searching for the Mona Lisa to see if it's possible. Because I'm skeptical that it was recovered. I am skeptical.
Okay.
1946,
Mm.
United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, also known as UNICEF,
Ah, nice.
is established by Resolution 57I of the UN General Assembly. So that's when UNICEF was created on this day back in
December 11th.
1946.
Okay. And to
Yeah,
this day,
pretty
kids are
neat.
trick or treating for UNICEF decades
Yes,
later.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good program, I
Good
mean, that
program.
did a lot of good. I'm sure people might be pilfering off the top of that thing, but
Uh, there is a site that looks at charitable organizations. I don't remember the name of it, but they basically assess how much of what you give goes to the cause it represents and how much goes to management. When you see
yeah,
something skewed, oh, 80% of what they raise goes to, maintaining the organization and 20% goes, then you're
exactly.
like, oh, okay, maybe not this one. But when it's reversed, if it's 80-20, 80 goes to the cause, you're
Yes.
probably pretty safe.
Yeah, because you might think people would do stuff for charity for, very little,
Yeah.
bare minimum. Uh, Look, they get a lot of volunteers, right?
Mhm.
But somebody at the top of that chain is making too much money.
As I recall, because my dad used to be involved with UNICEF, he didn't work for it, but the bank he worked for was a major supporter. The executive leadership, I mean, it's a multi-million-dollar organization, and they are handsomely compensated. But
Hmm.
the key is relative to what they're earning, and I don't know, but
Right.
I want to believe, given the longevity of the institution and whatnot. Um, it would be if you see that most of that is going to the charity, then if it's a big organization and to get competent people, but it's good to be aware, right? Good to make sure that that balance is there. So why not
So
check?
Becky says Compassion Canada and World Vision is who I have sponsor kids through,
Ah,
and
okay,
apparently Compassion gives the most money.
okay.
So there you
Yeah,
go. So if
bravo
you
to
want to
them.
help the kids,
Yep.
contribute to
Compassion,
that.
Compassion Canada. That's wonderful.
Compassion Canada.
Yeah.
World Vision keeps more, which is sad.
Okay.
I didn't know until I signed up. So Becky knows offhand. So
Thank you,
Compassion
Becky.
Canada. So there we go. That is important information, especially this time of year throughout the holidays,
Sure.
right?
Sure. Sure.
All
Wow,
right.
December
Let
11th.
me see. What was
No, I
that?
was just saying December 11th, quite a day. Quite a day in history.
Yes. 19. I can't read my writing. It could be 67. Could be something else. I don't know. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner premiered in New York City, starring Spencer Tracy, Sidney Poitier, one of
Mm,
the greatest actors, right?
yes.
And
Trench.
Katharine Hepburn, who won an Oscar for Best Actress
Mm,
for this movie. So that premiered in New York City.
look at that. What year was that?
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
the one you weren't sure. All right,
yeah. I
interesting.
can't read my writing.
There's a film I love with Katharine Hepburn in it, The Lion in Winter. I actually spoke about it in the last show I was on with Becky. But for that role, Katharine Hepburn won an Academy. All right, so this wouldn't be the same year as that because she won an Academy and she shared it with someone. So that's not the same year because it's the same actress. So forget I said that. Okay,
Well,
there
it
I am.
just makes her
Irrelevant
that great
point.
when she won a couple, right?
Yeah, she won a couple. Well deserved. Well deserved. But that wasn't the one she split. So all right.
No, no, she got that one.
Yeah.
And then 1951. So I'm pretty sure it's 1967 for that movie.
Okay.
1951. Joe DiMaggio announced his retirement.
A very sad day. A very sad day for
Yes,
baseball.
right,
Uh,
right. If you're a Yankee fan,
I am a Yankee fan. I was born in the Bronx. So let me just say, you
well,
need
not
Yankee.
everybody's perfect.
No, no, you need Yankee fans because without Yankee fans, what of the rivalry? There is no rivalry.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
need,
yeah, yeah.
you
I
know,
know because like the Red Sox, look what they do.
yeah.
They give you smoke screens to think that they're looking to sign somebody. They're not signing anybody. Forget it,
Uh,
people. They're not signing a damn player
no, apparently the
except
Mets
some
are.
scrub
The,
that's beyond the years,
yeah, yeah.
like Aroldis Chapman.
Uh, good example, right?
Good example. They just signed
Yeah.
him recently. Yeah, that,
No,
that was worth it.
The Mets are signing people. They've joined the signing game.
Mets. I predicted Soto was going to the Mets, by the way,
That's a good
like
prediction.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah. You were on the head of that curve for sure. And
I
that
was.
was but
Yeah, because I knew it wasn't going to be Boston.
right. That was
so,
but a
so
nice
that was pretty easy.
but if someone gave you odds, right, and you could put a little bet on it, that could have been that could have been
Yeah, I
yeah,
wish,
helped
right?
out. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
could have made a fortune on that one.
Oh man.
All
But
right, so
I love
that
the
is
rivalry. I love the rivalry. Because it make
yeah,
when
yeah,
they're both competitive, it makes baseball
right,
very interesting.
right. It's not like that right now, and
No, no.
apparently, it's not going to be like that this upcoming season
May
either.
not be. May not be. There's always
They should make
2003
me
and more.
GM. They should make Red
Yes.
Sox should make me GM.
It's
I
time.
would have that team like cruising,
It's time.
cruising.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to sign every big star, right?
No.
But you have to put a team together that makes sense.
It's the puzzle.
And right
It's the
now, they're
puzzle.
not doing that. They're just like cutting everybody free, and
Mm,
not trying to get anything that is
yeah.
worthwhile.
And that's frustrating for the fans. I get
It
it.
is.
I get
It
it.
is. You got to be able to draft. You got to be able to groom those prospects
Mhm.
and replace the people that are making the big bucks, right?
Sure.
And if you
One
can
of the
do
things
that,
Mhm.
I
Then
mean,
you
how
got
hard
something.
is this?
The blueprints are out there, right? And for many years, the Yankees mastered that. Yes, they were spending big bucks to fill a gap, but their farm system was
Yeah,
wonderful, and you get a Jeter or Mariano Rivera from that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
development.
They get a lot of those.
Yeah,
I, Posada,
yeah, yeah,
Jorge Posada.
yeah.
Not a great defensive catcher, mind you, but the man can hit.
Man could hit. More importantly, he could hit against Pedro for whatever reason. Posada could
Right,
hit against no one
right.
else
This is
could.
what you
Pedro.
got to do. You got
Yeah.
to bring in those. See, I don't understand why they don't look at where they play.
Mm,
When you get a player that comes into Boston in Fenway Park and the guy just slugs the hell out of the park, wouldn't you think that would be a guy you want to play
yeah,
on your team that can hit
yeah.
in the ballpark? And
Mhm.
then, two, you look at how do they do against the Yankees,
You
right?
right. Yeah.
Because I'm sure Red Sox fans everywhere wouldn't care if they don't make the playoffs as long as they beat the Yankees,
Yeah, that right. They take comfort. That's
and
enough
vice
comfort.
versa.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So moving along, I could talk about that subject because I'm really upset about the Red Sox. So,
Okay.
uh,
We'll
so
save that
moving
for the
along,
spring
it is time for the feast.
of Santa Lucia, which happens on December 13th. So as if there's not enough going on with the
Right.
Geminid meteor shower. If that's not enough to excite your life, okay. The
Now,
13th.
this is the crown that they wear, right? For
Yes,
the
yes. Oh, that's a great illustration you have there. So, here's the thing about Santa Lucia. It's not the biggest feast day in the Catholic Church or anything, but there's a lot of cultural ties to it that sort of make it fun. Okay, so it's often tied into Christmas, even though it has nothing to do with Christmas. It's just about it's where it lies on the calendar. It happens during Advent, and we're a couple weeks away from Christmas. So, it gets tied up into your Christmas festivities. And Santa Lucia is important. She is the patron saint of light and a few other things like I think seafarers, fishermen, or although maybe St. Nicholas is fisherman, but people who go out to sea. So as a saint, she is very important to the residents of Sicily and the communities of southern Italy. And it's a big deal. The famous song that probably everyone has heard, which has the refrain, Santa Lucia,
yeah.
Santa Lucia. Okay, that's in
Oh
homage to
boy,
her.
do you have the pipes.
Um,
That's pretty good.
I'm not warmed up yet, but yeah, but so there is that song, and it's been made famous from, look, everyone's recorded it. You can hear Enrico Caruso singing it. You can hear Elvis Presley singing it.
Yeah.
The full spectrum. So there is
Yeah,
that.
people don't realize that Elvis did a lot of gospel and stuff.
Oh yeah, and he had a beautiful baritone voice, and
Yeah,
some of his spiritual singing is quite lovely. Um,
yeah.
and for any Elvis devotee, to key into that aspect of his career, that's something too. All right, but Saint Lucy, Santa Lucia is huge in Sweden, Norway, the points north, because she is the bringer of light. And up north, as you get closer to the North Pole, the nights are much longer than they are in southern Italy. And so
Yeah,
the
Becky
idea
would know that.
is, yes, that can we know that too. Say you look to her and you celebrate her because she is bringing the return of longer days. Now, interesting fact here for history. Before the Pope Gregory amended the calendar to take into account, um, the leap year, if you will. The calendar was off, and so the winter solstice was December 13th. That was the shortest day. That was, wherever you were on the planet, that was the day where you had the least amount of daylight, and that's how St. Lucy's Day got appended to that. Once, I think it was in 1582, Pope Gregory amended the calendar. That solstice got pushed back a little for a few weeks later, but rest assured, it's still a dark day. There's still a lack of light, particularly up north. So in the Scandinavian countries, they love St. Lucy. And the tradition is, and I love that little illustration we have up there, is that in a family, the eldest daughter of the family would dress up in white in honor of St. Lucy,
Oh,
and they would put on this wreath with
yeah.
lit candles. Talk
Yeah,
again,
that's crazy.
decrepit people from days gone by, and she would bake special cakes and
Oh,
then
I like
wake the
cakes.
family. Yes, well, she would wake the family, uh, singing quite possibly Santa Lucia, although they may have songs up north too, their own Scandinavian songs, but something in honor of Saint Lucy, and then wake the family up. Now, uh, it's interesting. In 2007, my mom lived on Cape Cod, and at that time, my grandmother did as well. She was 101 years old, and her birthday was December 2nd. So my mom said, "Come on up for Grandma's birthday." And our kids were young then. Our daughter was, I don't know, maybe 9 years old, something like that, 8 years old. Um, and my mom found a white dress for Catherine, my daughter, and she fashioned a wreath with battery operated candles, and they made some cakes. And so it wasn't quite St. Lucy's Day, but we were close to it. That's when we were there, and it was Grandma's birthday. So little Catherine woke us all up singing Santa Lucia at like 5:30 in the morning. God help us all, and brought cakes and buns, and then also we added a happy birthday to great grandma, who was 101, and
Oh,
took a lot of
wow.
nice pictures of all the women, 4 generations of women, celebrating St. Lucy.
That's
And so
nice.
since then, we've been not getting up at 5 in the morning, but we do make St. Lucy buns, and we got the recipe from the American Girl doll cookbook for the doll Kirsten, who looks a lot like that little doll right there. And they have a fantastic recipe for St. Lucie buns, which are flavored with saffron, and it makes the whole house smell good. And we'll make them this week for December 13th, even though my
Yeah,
daughter's
like
away at school. Yeah.
Becky mentioned that we had talked about this during her uh, traditions around the world segments.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And, it was one of the more intriguing ones because it just seems so pleasant.
Yes.
It just
Yeah.
seems
Yeah.
so nice.
Yes.
And, she said it's a cute tradition. And I agree with that. Like, this is just so much better than the commercialized Christmas now. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's kind of heartwarming.
Hmm.
Not that, I mean, it's nice. It's a nice celebration.
It is, and you're looking forward to longer days, shorter nights. You tip your hat off to Santa Lucia. You eat special cakes or buns that you would only have that day. I mean, you can have them whenever you want, but it's more special when you know this is what you do on this day. And I
Yeah.
know you guys have been talking about Elf on the Shelf, the sort of manufactured, tradition. It's very commercialized. This really isn't. And it's fun, particularly while your kids are young. You don't want to start this when your daughter is 17, right? It's
Yeah,
too
no.
much ship sail. But when they're 5, 6, 7, if you have a young lady in the house, definitely try it. It will be
Yeah, because
fun.
it's kind of like celebrating her, right?
Yeah.
People need to start really looking at some of the things that we do and start changing some of the things that we do. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
I just think it would be like Becky said, it's peaceful. I think it would be more like inner peace.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what
Serenity.
I'm saying?
Serenity.
I think this was one of the best ones, and I remember talking about this. Not to mention that I like cake, but I
Okay.
just think it's just a nice
Yeah.
tradition.
Hmm. Hmm. There is much joy in simple things, and there's joy, there's comfort. Uh,
Cribs,
here is the
cribs.
warning: do not use real candles. Do not light real
No,
candles.
no, 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 no. I
Those
wouldn't
days,
suggest that.
those days have gone. Yeah, we can use battery operated
Yes.
little candles.
Yeah, we
We,
don't
you
need
know,
a fire accident in the
right.
house.
But having said that, it's lovely. Everyone would have fun, even the ones who are not the center of attention. And
Yeah.
it's fun because it starts with you have to bake the cakes too, and that's a little something. It takes a couple of hours, but it's something you can all do together. And then when your kids grow up,
Making a
they'll
cake
be doing it.
smells good.
Yeah,
It
yes,
smells good.
your house will smell wonderful for a good long
Ah,
time. Yeah, yeah,
unless you burn it, then.
unless you burn it, right? Although I like a nice caramelization on my house. I like that. No, here we go. Well, there's something, and again, Santa Lucia, the 13th. It's always going to be the 13th. The Geminids are always going to be here on the 13th. That can be a big day for you. And
Yes.
yeah, and this year it's on a weekend, so if you're up late, that's fine. That's fine.
Cakes and meteors for
Yeah,
everybody.
have at it. Have at it.
All right, so let's move along. See, that was fun, and now we're gonna talk fun facts, right?
Okay, fun facts.
Fun facts, and this one is all about Kevin,
Kevin.
right? Home
All right.
Alone, like that. It's funny because I was gonna watch this like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So I have a program that I can see pretty much every movie. So I put on Home Alone, and then all of a sudden I noticed that it was in Spanish.
Muy bien. No, Kevin.
Right
No. All right.
now, it was just a surprise because, like, it was so funny seeing different things
Yeah.
come out of these people's mouths, and
Yes.
it's like, well, that doesn't sound anything like a kid. It's
Right.
clearly not a kid
Mm.
saying it. It was such bad dubbing.
Bad
It was
dub.
awful.
Oh,
Oh, it was awful. But it is a great movie. I love Home Alone.
for sure.
Becky says it's one of our favorites here.
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't blame you because it is a fantastic movie. It is fun.
Mhm.
Uh, the movie is hilarious.
Yep.
Everybody in it was really wonderful.
Absolutely.
But I got the fun facts of this movie as soon as I can figure out where I did with
Where
it.
you put 'em?
Because it was
You
something I was going to do last week.
Well, I'm excited.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, got 'em? Fun facts, Home Alone.
Fun facts: Home Alone, the tarantula was real with a stinger. So when it
Oh,
was put on the guy's head, I can't think
oh,
of his
man.
name off the top of my head, but
Oh, yeah.
the actor, he actually
Yeah.
had that thing, and it had a stinger too, as well.
Okay. I don't know
So
how
that was
the
real.
unions went for that, but okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would do that. There's
Oh,
no way in
man.
hell you're gonna put a tarantula
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah.
Whether it has a stinger or not, it's
Or
not
not, right.
happening.
Yeah.
Not happening. But it doesn't have a stinger. Sure, I
Sure.
don't care. Yes, Harry Daniel Stern.
Yeah,
That's right.
Daniel
Thank
Stern
you,
is the
Becky.
actor. Yes.
Daniel
Wonderful
Stern.
Daniel Stern. He was great.
Oh, he's funny. He's hilarious. They couldn't have gotten two better people for that, right? Joe
The
Pesci
great
and
duo.
Daniel Stern.
Fantastic.
Oh my God, they're so
You
good
could have
together.
I'd watch
Marv.
it. Marv. I'd watch a sequel or, further stories of their adventures, even animated. They were so
Oh
great together.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's like 5 Home Alones. Did you know that?
Yeah, and let me tell you, as the numbers go up, the quality in direct
Is
proportion plummets.
awful.
Yeah, yeah.
Like 3, 4,
1
and
and
5 are
2.
just
Yeah,
unwatchable.
unwatchable. Yeah, and Home Alone in name only, and it's Hollywood capitalizing off of the franchise in the worst kind of way, diminishing the genius of the
Yeah.
first 2. 1 and 2 are great, full stop,
Yes.
and that's it.
All right. So Macaulay Culkin has trouble watching the movie because he remembers personal context from the set. So
Huh,
something was going on the set and he did not feel comfortable with, and he has trouble watching the movie now.
and that's unfortunate. That is not a fun fact.
Yes.
That is an
No, it's
unfun
not a
fact.
fun fact, but
That is a fact, but it's not
it
fun.
is a fact.
All right. I'm sorry,
And I
Macaulay.
knew Becky would love that one because now she's wondering what's going on that set. Um, I don't know. I don't know if it was directors or producers or whatever. Somebody made him uncomfortable.
Mm,
So Buzz, remember Buzz?
I sure do.
Do you remember his girlfriend?
I remember that Kevin said, "Oh, what a bow wow," unkindly.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Well, the girlfriend was actually a boy.
Okay. Wow.
so, apparently Joe Pesci
Oh, interesting.
was in character
Yeah.
offset to create tension between him and Macaulay Culkin. Yes, that is true.
Wow.
He didn't talk to him, nothing. He was just mean because he wanted him to think he was mean.
Right. If I was a kid, that would make me very uncomfortable. In fact, as an adult, that would make me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I wrote a little comedy sketch. I won't go into the details, but one of the joke is a husband and wife debating about what movie to watch for Christmas, and the wife says, "You know the rules. No movies with Joe Pesci in it. Like she just can't watch. Joe Pesci's in a movie, and it's a family rule that she just can't. She just can't watch it
really?
because of the violence." Yeah, I mean that was the joke. You know, you know, you know the rules. No Joe Pesci movies, but he's marvelous. He could be so intimidating and funny. He is probably the warmest, most tender person
Yeah,
in the world.
probably.
Yeah.
Guy's hilarious. I like him.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, a classic.
So the movie Kevin watches and replays isn't real.
No,
They they
yeah.
call it Angels with Filthy Souls.
Angels with Filthy Souls. Yep. Great.
So
Uh,
not real.
no, I
That
can tell right
filthy
away,
animal.
but I love it. But I want someone to make that movie now. That's the thing. That's the great.
Yes.
If you want to
I
make
can't
money off
believe
the
nobody's done it.
franchise, this is the thing to do. Make that movie. Okay. That's the,
Yes.
yeah.
I
Great
agree with
fan
that.
fiction. Yeah, you filthy animal. By the way, that is a common catchphrase that you'll hear all around my house around the holidays. And for people who don't know, they raise the eyebrow, right? Like what's going on? It's great.
So Monday, Becky, I want to hear Britney Spears and Macaulay Culkin. I want those
Oh,
Monday.
okay. Wow.
We'll call it Conspiracy Monday. Monday.
Well, the kid, I don't know about conspiracies, but I believe, his father was not kind to him, and I think
No, that
mishandled
doesn't surprise
a,
me either.
a lot of his money and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, does
So
not
sad.
surprise me.
Very sad.
All right, the movie was written by John Hughes in 9 days after panicking about a trip to Europe with his family. I
Interesting.
wonder if he forgot his kid.
A, a
I mean,
fun ex-
he wrote the movie in 9
yeah.
days.
John Hughes is amazing in not just how prolific he was. I mean, how good a storyteller he was, but he could do it quickly. It's almost as if once he formed the idea in his head, it just spilled out. And
Yeah.
sometimes that happens to me, and sometimes it's like agony. I don't know where is it, but John Hughes, man, and it's a gem of a screenplay. Yeah,
Oh,
really.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So here's the thing that Becky was talking about. Joe Pesci avoided Culkin on set so he would think he was mean.
Hmm.
So that one we've already discussed. All of John Candy's scenes were shot in one day. The Polka King of the Midwest, Gus Polinski.
See, yeah,
One day.
one day and look, easy money for John, right? One
Oh
of the
God, yeah.
There's so many things to love about this film, and one of them is you have John Candy doing that. And so every second he's on screen, it's funny
Yeah.
and it's interesting. And yet there's that base of reality and tenderness too. And you don't need it. It could be a different character, it could be a different actor, but because you have all the mayhem and all the fun and all the everything, plus you get John Candy as the Polka King playing the clarinet and that
Yeah.
wonderful bit with him and his friends. Who hasn't seen his kid ever? He left his kid abandoned in the funeral parlor. I mean, these are
Right.
gems. These are gems. After you turn it, no, go ahead, play. Come on, try it. Try. I mean, it's just genius. And that kind of punctuation in a film that elevates it from being a very good film to a great film or a classic evergreen. So one day, you know, amen
Yeah.
that they took that
Yeah.
day.
So Becky said we learned how awesome John Hughes was last week. Amazing portfolio. Yeah, we did a segment and we talked about John Hughes with all the
Mm,
movies that he's written.
yeah,
I believe that was on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So go back and
go
see
back. Yeah,
Thursday's episodes.
I'm
You
going.
might want to go see all the episodes, because we this is our 107th, so there's 106 good ones that you need to go see.
Yeah,
You know, so we got two more. John and Cynthia Abenshine
Evangeline. Okay.
owned the home located at 671 Lincoln
Uh,
Ave
ah,
in Winnetka, Illinois. Right
okay.
when it was used in the film, they sold it in 2012 for $1.585 million.
Mm. How sweet
Wow.
it is. Yeah,
They did a really good job on capitalizing on that.
they did. They did. It's a lovely home.
And I don't blame them. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
they probably weren't even going to sell, and then somebody probably offered them like 1 million,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
then because fans are crazy.
Mhm.
Fans are crazy. It's for sale again,
Unreal.
$5.3 million.
Unreal. Unreal. Talk
Wow.
about value that's not, no intrinsic
Right?
value.
It's the
That is just a
smart thing to
value.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's somebody willing to pay,
Sure. Sure.
it's yours. Yours. All right, and finally,
Fine.
this one is truly a fun fact.
Okay.
Truly. Um, Joe Pesci really bit Macaulay Culkin's finger in rehearsals.
Oh, well, this speaks to our
During the
first
scene, he
that sad.
says, "I'm gonna bite all your fingers off." And he really bit him.
All right. What could Macaulay
So
Culkin possibly be uncomfortable with on
right,
set?
well, yeah.
Oh,
So
God.
this is Macaulay Culkin's quote after it happened. You can take the guy out of Goodfellas, but you can't take the Goodfellas out of the guy.
Wow. Wow.
How great is that? This kid was really funny.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I mean, he was really funny. And
He
that
was
just sums
I
it
mean,
all up right
excellent.
there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, had great instincts, and clearly he was keyed in a very,
Yeah.
very meaningful way. Oh, man. Well, great movie. I might watch it again.
Yeah, I gotta watch it now because now
In
I need
English?
the real version.
I actually like to see it in a different language, maybe Italian, maybe, but I know it so well. I could probably, I'm not like I know what's
Yeah,
going on,
this is
like
true.
opera.
Seen him
Yeah,
like a million
yeah,
times.
yeah.
Million
Oh,
times.
man, good stuff.
So that is fun facts. So
Those are fun.
that was a good one. I like that. I did Christmas Vacation and now I did Home Alone.
Okay,
So I don't know what the next one will be because I probably have like maybe 1 or 2 more days before Christmas for me to do the fun facts. So I
okay.
might get 1 or 2 more in. So with that, let's go to Thanksgiving surprise.
Oh, Thanksgiving's around. So, okay, so we're all excited. Thanksgiving. Uh, Kids are going to be home, which is a big deal because our son lives out in San Diego. But he's been for the last month in your neighborhood, Ron. He's been in Rhode Island in
Really? Oh
yeah,
yeah, I
what is it?
remember you
Yeah,
talking to
yeah,
me about
Middleton,
that.
right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's studying at the naval base there
maybe
because he is in the Navy, and so
like a
it's been
mile
great.
away.
We have gone up to see him for a meal every week. He's been here, but came home for Thanksgiving for 4 days. So we're gonna cook. It's just gonna be the four of us. We're all excited. So the night before, I thought I'd get a jump on things and maybe, roast some of the vegetables that we would be needing. So I put on the oven and start heating it up. Come back a little later. Notice the oven is not where it should be. It should be at 450 degrees. It's barely 200 degrees. I'm like, huh. Turn it off, start it again. Same thing happens, only now I smell gas. So I call my wife, who has a more sensitive nose than I do. It's like, do you smell gas? Yes. Long story short, kids were going out with friends. We said, go now, get out of the house now. Called the fire department, and they said, in no uncertain terms, get out of your house right now. We're coming over. Three fire trucks came, cars, and they go in and they find a gas leak. That's the connection to the stove was kaput. House. Happy ending in that they figured it out. They shut off the valves. They said, your oven is, dead. It is an ex oven. This oven is no more. And they said, you're good to go back in your house and everything's going to be fine. So now we've got a turkey and everything else to cook and no oven to, to prepare it. Um, so one of the
Wow.
firemen said the local supermarket, Carluzzi's, family-owned supermarket in the area, they're still taking orders. They'll cook your dinner. So I headed out to Carluzzi's, ordered up a dinner, and it was good. Nothing, not as many sides as we would have had already, but they cooked the turkey, they made stuffing, they had a pumpkin pie, they had cranberry sauce, blah, 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 blah. And it was ready for me the next morning at 10 a.m. So the cooking, you know, that was easy. Clean up. That was easy. So we watched.
Yeah, but
We watched.
at least
Yeah.
you
We were
avoided tragedy. Like
Yes,
that
and
would
they
have been
said
awful.
the fire department said on no uncertain terms, you did the right thing. Always call us if you smell gas. And one of them asked my wife, "Have you ever seen a house blow up from gas?" I'm like, not maybe in the movies. So, no, don't mess around with that. Um, so there's a little footnote to the story. The day was fine, and we had a great time together. And the stress of cooking and timing everything was gone. We played games. We watched Home Alone. We watched the Michigan Ohio football game, at least the last two quarters. It was we made it a good day, and even if we couldn't have gotten the food, we would have made it a good day. The big thing to be thankful for was we did not blow up in our sleep. There was no fire. There
Right.
was no station. Um, One of the firemen also worked at an appliance store and said, "Well, come on by on Friday. We're having a sale," and we did. And he told us what happened later that night after they left us, because you feel bad because there is no fire. You're like, sorry to bother you, but really they're like, no, we live for this. This is because one, they're preventing something bad from happening. Two, they enjoy their work. This is exciting.
Right.
After they left us, they got another call, carbon monoxide leak, and they had to go to another house. And they said it was bad, like it could have been tragic had they not acted, on this. Had they not had the detectors, this could have been a tragedy. So that was the second part of the night. But on Thanksgiving Day, this firefighter said we got a call, five alarmer, Thanksgiving evening. It was a family. I won't say where they are, but somewhere in New England. Okay,
Yeah.
they were making the hot fried turkeys and the deep fried turkeys.
Yeah.
They were frying three of them in their garage, and the whole house. They had 40 people over. It was, if not a mansion, close to it, a fine property on a piece of by water. 40 people there. Whole house burned to a cinder. Showed us pictures of the fire, the
Oh,
flames, and whatnot. And
that's
I'm like,
tragic.
yeah.
It's
And no one was hurt. And so again, there's the blessing. But you're like, what are you doing? And they're like, if you're deep frying a turkey, you don't do it in the garage, don't do it, out in the field. And
first
my
of all, that's
question
so
is,
unhealthy.
why would you even do that? And then
Yeah.
one of the firefighters said, "Have you ever had deep fried turkey? It's really good." And I'm like, so I was joking. I'm like, so good, it's worth burning down your house. But
Yeah.
it's good.
Like,
But
why are you not doing that outside?
yeah, yeah. And I guess they thought the garage with an open door was sufficient. But in your garage, there's a lot of flammable things. There's a lot of accelerants and combustibles. And
Absolutely.
it was just, and so when I think of how we fared, and how this family fared, we got off easy, hands down. And we ended up having a great Thanksgiving. We have a new stove. It works. We've tested it out, but yeah, thankfully in the other situation, no one got hurt, no one died, but things can go bad really, really quickly.
Yeah,
And
it doesn't take long.
no,
And, you know, and when something like that happens, it's almost like slow motion.
yeah, yeah,
It's like
yes,
you want to do things, a million things crosses
yeah,
your mind, but then all of a sudden it's too late.
yes,
And then you
yeah,
had all these thoughts and it just goes by so fast.
yeah,
Boom.
yeah,
And Becky says we had some sort of leak last winter. My kid was sitting in the living room with this horrid smell. It was making me cough as soon as I walked upstairs, but she didn't notice it. It was our gas fireplace. The
uh,
seal wasn't tight. My husband and kid refused to leave. I left without them with my
mm,
biggest dog to get my other kid and refused to go back home, but I felt guilt leaving the other kid.
uh,
Eventually, Andrew decided that it was a bad smell and called the gas company, who came out and evacuated.
yeah,
And again, see, now that's a good point. They refuse to leave, right?
right.
That's you can't do that.
I mean, you don't want to certain things you don't want to roll the dice with, and
Yeah.
fire, gas leak, nuh you know,
And it's weird too because it's like I noticed, with hurricanes, people refuse to leave their home. I think that's a little different because I certainly wouldn't want to blow up.
right, right,
At least there's a chance you can survive, blah blah blah, with a hurricane. Not a good decision, but I can understand that.
hmm
But when there's potential like a gas leak and stuff, you need to get out
yeah.
because that is just like instant. You
In a
gone.
matter of seconds, your whole world can change, and not for the better, right? Yeah, it's tough when we don't see the threat. When it's theoretical, it's harder to take action. When you have
Yeah,
tangible evidence, all right, then your DNA kicks in, right? Your survival instincts.
absolutely.
And so gas, that smell, gas has no smell. The gas you need to cook with has no smell. They insert the odor so that to warn us that there's a leak. But that's added after the fact. That's not an intrinsic part of the cooking gas. But so it's easier if you have the evidence. But still, there are people. They are. I don't want to be judgy and say
Human.
stubborn, but they're set in their ways, and most things turn out well. So you think, oh, don't overreact, but most things do. Not everything does, and I say
Right.
don't mess with chemistry. Chemistry will beat you
Yup.
every time. Every
Yep.
time. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Oh
but
my
it
God, what is
happens.
it? We are running a little off. What do we got left? I think it's just the top five. So we'll get through this
Okay.
pretty quick. I hope.
Okay.
I hope
I hope.
because this is a tough one. Top
Okay.
five Christmas carols, right?
Oh,
All the Christmas songs on the radio and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
You know, it was very difficult to do.
Why? Because
So
there were
I'm a,
different places rating them, or like there might have been
no,
different
no,
metrics.
this is my
Oh,
top
this is
five.
your top five. Oh, let me get. Oh, cool. I want to hear your top five because I got a top five that no one
So
likes.
because I like a lot of Christmas songs. I
Me
do.
too.
I,
Me
I
too.
I'm guilty of that. Like Holly Jolly Christmas by Burl Ives.
Mm-hmm. Have a
Honorable mention.
holly jolly Christmas.
Yep. Honorable
Okay.
mention. Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You." I
Okay.
like the song.
Okay.
Honorable mention. Here Comes Santa Claus by Elvis. I love Elvis. So
Okay.
honorable mention didn't make the list. I saw nope. Run Rudolph Run, Chuck Berry or Brian Adams from
Either one.
Canada, Becky. Either one.
Yeah.
I like both of them,
Yeah.
right?
I
Honorable
have not
mention.
heard that. I'm gonna dial that up right away as soon as we run Rudolph.
It's really good. I love it. Honorable mention, funny. Grandma got run over by a reindeer, Elmo and Patsy. Honorable mention.
Yeah.
Little Drummer Boy, Bob Seger. Honorable mention. It's the only version of Little Drummer Boy that I like.
Okay.
Only version. I don't like the song, but I like the way Bob Seger does
What
it.
about Bowie and Bing Crosby singing that? Any
No,
honorable mention for that?
don't like
Okay.
it. Nope.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Christmas is the time to say I love you, Billy Squire. Honorable mention. A lot of honorable mentions. I couldn't leave any of these guys out.
Okay.
Wonderful Christmas Time. Paul McCartney and the Wings, I believe.
Okay.
That's an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
No, sure.
Look, this is great, and I just watched Die Hard, the real Christmas movie.
Christmas.
Christmas in Hollis, Run DMC. Honorable mention. Love
Okay.
it.
Okay.
From my favorite Christmas movie, Snow Miser and Heat Miser song,
Uh-huh.
from A Year Without a Santa Claus. I don't know
Okay.
who sings it. It's whoever did the characters'
Okay.
voices. They sang it. Excellent. John Lennon, Happy Christmas
Mhm.
with John Lennon and Yoko Plastic Ono Band.
Okay. Okay.
It was John Lennon. John Lennon.
Enough.
And of course, to round out the honorable mentions,
Yeah.
Do They Know It's Christmas Time? Band-Aid. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
With all the singers.
Mhm.
That was
That was
wonderful.
nice. Yeah.
That was wonderful. All right, number 5, Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms.
Mm.
Also, another great Christmas movie, Lethal Weapon. It was the opening to that.
Ah.
Great Christmas movie,
Okay. Okay.
Lethal Weapon. Number 4, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus by John Mellencamp.
Okay.
John Mellencamp.
John Mellencamp.
Awesome song.
All
Love it.
right.
Love it. Number 3, Elvis with Blue Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Blue
Boom, ba,
Christmas.
boom, ba, boom, ba, boom. Boom,
Exactly.
boom, boom.
But you gotta have that Elvis thing.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Oh, I have a blue
Mm.
Christmas without you.
Excellent.
There we go. See, there we go. See, you get a concert and everything.
Nice. Full service.
Number 2, and I still love this song, Jose Feliciano's Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, that's very
Oh, I love that song.
upbeat and joyful. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember as a little kid,
Mm-hmm.
I would play that 100 times. My mom would say, "Play something else."
Enough already. Enough already. Yeah.
Killer.
But
And then number 1, this is
The
my
number-
favorite,
drum roll.
and I get excited every time I hear it. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, live by Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
Okay. A lot of passion in that.
Oh, I love that. You know, I'm not like a huge Bruce Springsteen fan, but I love that song. That's my favorite Bruce Springsteen
It's
song.
hard not to like that, right? And Jose Feliciano's, even if you don't like their work at large, you've got to be a
Right.
real stodgy curmudgeon to not really like those
Yeah.
versions.
So that's my top 5.
Wow.
I love it. I do like the Christmas songs, you know, even though I may dislike Christmas at times.
Ah,
Just saying.
I understood.
Just saying.
I've got a
So-
different list. My list is very, but that speaks to
Oh, I'm sure.
how wonderful
sure.
the spectrum of Christmas music is. Yeah. Yeah.
This is a great list. Thank you, Becky. Somebody
Yeah.
appreciates it. I don't know what happened to Kenny. He should be disappointed he did not show up for this one. Disappointed.
Yeah.
So, but look, you can see Kenny tomorrow. You can see him
Okay.
tomorrow because he is going to be with Ira tomorrow I
Okay.
can't wait to see this combo.
Mm. I might have
This
to check.
combo is a must see. Ira, Mark, and Kenny Schofield will be here tomorrow, 10 a.m. I will be behind the scenes, so I'll be able to see this.
Okay.
And so that is going to be a great show. And then Saturday it'll be me and Kenny. And then Monday it'll be you and Becky.
I'm back on Monday. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I missed Becky this week.
So yeah. So be here 10 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Thursday, and Saturdays on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So have a great day, everybody, and enjoy
Have a-
those fireworks in the sky.
Yes. Yes.
Take
Take
care.
care.